This video is about domestic violence and sexual assault in the Houston area. Hello, my name is Chris. I'm the owner of Christopher Meyer Law Firm. I have a domestic violence, divorce and custody law firm in the Houston area. Today I'd like to speak about domestic violence and sexual assault. Consent is the line that separates normal sexual relations from sexual assault. In many cases, a sexual relationship may be born of consent, but as the relationship changes, may turn into sexual assault. The emergence of domestic violence in a relationship often triggers the shift between a consenting sexual encounter and sexual assault. Houston area domestic violence attorney Christopher Meyer is all too familiar with relationships that start good but spiral into nightmares. Christopher's compassionate and empathetic nature means he understands that a relationship is made up of many parts and counsels each client without judgment. He approaches each client with empathy and wants to help him or her regardless of the situation. Okay, let's talk about the differences between domestic violence and sexual assault. Domestic violence by itself is not always a crime. It is a category of behaviors that are harmful to people we are close to. The behaviors themselves are generally crimes such as causing bodily harm, threats of bodily injury, sexual assault, stalking, or harassment. To be considered domestic violence, these behaviors must be directed at a partner, family member, or household member. In situations in which a person is experiencing domestic violence, the Texas Family Code allows the person to petition the court for a domestic violence order for protection. This is a civil order that prevents a person accused of domestic violence from coming close to or having contact with the alleged victim. Christopher Meyer has experience representing and protecting the rights of victims in petitions for a domestic violence order of protection. Okay, now let's talk about sexual assault. Sexual assault refers to a number of crimes which could include rape, molestation, and can even involve the use of revenge porn, which may constitute domestic violence. The common thread among the crimes constituting sexual assault is that they all involve some form of sexual activity without consent. Consent means that when sexual intercourse or contact takes place, some words or actions indicate an agreement to participate in the sexual activity. Consent is an ongoing state of mind and can be withdrawn at any point during sexual activity. Okay, now let's talk about how domestic violence and sexual assault are related. Domestic violence often occurs between people who know one another and have certain types of relationships such as romantic partners, family members, or roommates. Sexual assault can occur regardless of the party's relationship. Neither domestic violence nor sexual assault is limited to a specific gender or relationship type. Both can occur in heterosexual and homosexual situations, and a person of any gender may be a victim. Okay, let's talk about romantic relationships. Romantic relationships often evolve. In many cases, both parties consent to a sexual relationship at first, but one party begins to withdraw consent once characteristics of domestic violence appear. Threats of physical harm or fear of angering a partner often lead victims of domestic violence to continue a sexual relationship without fully consenting. In such cases, the sexual assault may continue until the victim decides to get help or leave the relationship. Okay, well, what about household relationships? Domestic violence and sexual assault often occur between people living in the same household because they have no way of escaping the situation. Children are often victims of domestic violence because they are afraid to speak up and have nowhere else to go. Whether it be abuse or sexual assault by a parent, step-parent, grandparent, sibling, or aunt or uncle, any such behavior constitutes domestic violence. Domestic violence can also include unrelated parties who live in the same household, such as roommates, foster parents, or guardians. Okay, if you are a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault, if a partner or member of your household commits domestic violence against you, there are ways to protect yourself. Even if you do not want the person assaulting you to go to jail, you can still ask the court to order the accused to stay away from you at all times. Chris has helped hundreds of clients stop domestic violence and, under the right set of facts, obtain orders for protection that prevent contact between the victim and the accused. Chris's understanding of the law means he knows how to persuade the court to give you an order of protection. Okay, if you are accused of domestic violence and sexual assault, well, Chris does not represent abusers. Consult with a Houston area domestic violence attorney. If you are a victim of domestic violence or crimes involving a domestic relationship, attorney Chris Meyer has experience of representing victims in domestic violence situations. You can contact Chris Meyer Law Firm to discuss your case today. There's a link right here in this article. Chris Meyer Law Firm is located in Sugar Land, Texas, right on the outskirts of Houston, Texas. Chris only practices in Fort Bend and Harris counties. If you are in any of the following counties, go ahead and message Chris. He will see about referring you to a trusted family law attorney in that area. That could be Waller County, Montgomery County, Liberty, Chambers, Galveston, Brazoria, Wharton, or Austin. Okay, finally, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this information in this video is for informational purposes only. It's no attorney-client relationship. Okay, let's check out this YouTube channel. Okay, here my YouTube channel. I have lots of podcasts. At this point in time, I have over 140. I expect to have 200 in a very short amount of time. A lot of great videos on domestic violence and ways victims can overcome their trauma, and other warnings warnings of what things I recommend you avoid, and also how to deal with relationships involving a narcissist. Lots of great videos, lots of great content. I encourage you to check it out. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing.